Good morning. Day 216 of the build, and like all good workmen you find me leaning on a spade with a cup of coffee. Helen's actually not here. She's gone off to Stoke-on-Trent, I believe, to actually look for tiles and some other bathroom stuff, so she's left me a list of jobs to do, and that's basically where we are this morning. So first job to do this morning is we've discovered yesterday when trying to actually put the electrics from the distribution boards etc in the house, which are the other side of this wall, to the incoming supply, which is 25 metres, 30 metres that way, near the carriage house, that we couldn't actually get the pipe round the bend in the conduit that's been laid. So we've got a load of conduit from somewhere around there that runs all the way parallel down the house to the drive, then that way into the supply. It's stuck basically like this, although this one is actually for the BT line to go in. So first job, dig a hole, find out what sort of bend has been put on it and see if we can actually straighten it so that we can get the electricity cable through. So morning starting with some digging once I've finished my coffee. Okay, so I've dug down below the trench blocks and into the actual foundation so I can see the exposed foundations, and I can't see an outcoming conduit. Found the drains, not surprising because they're there. No conduit, which suggests digging in the wrong place, so I think I might have to get a tape measure out and actually measure more accurately. Helen thought it came out where that offset block was, but appears it doesn't. So today's top tip is measure twice and dig a hole once. It was about half a metre further along than I thought it was going to be. So these were the two pipes that I'm actually looking for, and those are the services are meant to come in. The actual bend on them, the radius of the turn on them, just see if I can see it, actually does not look bad to me at all. So I'm not quite sure why the sparkies can't get the electricity through those. The only thing I can think of is the problem is actually inside, and they have to come vertically down and then go 90 degrees to come out of the pipes you can see there. So I'll have to have another try. And I'll leave the holes and covers now so Helen can have a look and discuss it with the sparkies on Monday. Right, so downstairs the big change is we've had some more skimming done. So the plasterboarding was done I think for last week's video, but now this area, which will be the dining room, has, as you can see, been skimmed, plus the area down here in the corridor, but they've still to actually skim round the doors and that wall there. However, if we go up the ladder, you can see that we're now all boarded in the void area. So this is mid void that's been done. Up one more level. I actually won't go all the way up. Let me just move an empty bag of rubbish out of the way. That's the back wall above bedroom 3, and those are the end plates. All done. It has been a massive struggle and effort this week to actually get all of the insulation boards between the rafters, then the airtight membranes on, then all of the battening onto that so that the plasterers could actually board. It literally has taken all week to do this upper area between myself, Helen and the plasterers, who have been absolutely fantastic. You can also see that they've boarded around, might be a bit bright, around the Velux there, and they've actually started to do some skimming along this top edge here. That's been rounded so you don't get a straight edge, and therefore it looks nicer on the curve. So they've done that first, and then hopefully they should actually be back early next week, Monday or Tuesday, to actually skim the rest of this. Then it will come back to Helen and I to actually paint it before we get rid of the scaffolding. Be great to get rid of this scaffolding here. The only thing we probably won't get back actually is our stairs. We were debating this earlier before Helen went off. We have ordered a set of stairs to actually be built from a local wood firm, actually in Market Drayton. We've got a sample of the wood, and Helen's actually taken that with her to go and look for floor tiles, wood, whatever else she's looking for at Stoke today. But we were debating whether we would put the temporary stairs back in or just wait for those to actually arrive. So one other small thing to show you, we're now right up in the top of the eaves, so that's the central joist. You can't really see, central joist just here. We did discuss whether to leave that as wood or actually board over it, and actually we boarded over it. I'm glad we have, because it was double that width before we actually put the plasterboards, battens, airtight membrane and insulation on it, so there wouldn't have been much wood showing anyway. These are the drop downs for the 3 chandeliers. So they've been airtighted the other side, and just here you can see there's a carabiner that attaches to a really sturdy 4 screwed in point on the main boards where we can actually attach those chandeliers to, and there's 3 of those there. Once we've actually got this all skimmed and painted, the other job we've got to remember to do is actually to cut this plenum back to the wall, what will be the new wall level, and then there's a vent replaces this. This is a temporary cap here, so you put the proper vent on there. Temporary caps on at the moment just to stop dust and stuff getting into the system. So it was very easy to give you a tour round the void space and say, oh, we've done lots of work and look at it, isn't it nice? But actually, just to give you some idea of how much stuff has actually gone into that roof this week. First of all, the plastering team had to deploy this, which is a 150mm block of insulation. That actually fits between the roof beams, so effectively seals between the roof beams. Now, because you've then got a cold bridging area there, they then had to actually put another 50mm of insulation across the beams so as to seal them the other way. Okay, once that was done, Helen and I had to actually deploy this, which is the airproof membrane, all the way around the area to actually seal it in and stop the cold area in effect, because underneath this 150 there's actually approximately a 175 gap for the size of the beam, so there's breathing air behind it, so a void where air can actually circulate through it, so airtight membrane on top of that. Once that's done, you then have to put battens across, and those have to go into the now you can't see main beams, which is always good fun. And on top of that, the plasterers actually put the plasterboard ready for the skimming. So in total, about 250mm of stuff has actually gone onto that roof. Now, the plasterers commented on this, and I'm sure somebody else will. These are 45mm beams. In theory, we could have got away with 25mm beams, which are about half the size of these. But these were actually supplied with a timber frame, so we had them all, and we had no 25mm beams. So we've used these purely because it's a zero expense, we've got them anyway. And quite honestly, in the void, the 3-storey void, an extra 20mm of lost headroom makes no difference whatsoever. Okay, hopefully that shows you what we've actually put into it. So another job we started this weekend is actually tiling the floor in the plant room. There is method to our madness, starting at the front and going this way, because over on those back side there we're going to have to cut every single tile. So we're tiling this lot, letting it go off, harden, and then we can actually stand on that while we actually cut the rest of it. This is the first time we've actually used these, what I call them cheeses, to actually level the tiles on. Actually, this floor is pretty damn level because it's brand new. It's new scree with just the decoupling mats on it. You just see the decoupling mats at the back there. And then we just run a laser down it to ensure that we've got straight lines. Off you go. There's actually a backstory to the tiles we're using. These tiles were actually purchased about 10 years ago, and they were going to be for use with the house Team Manor in Wales. We'd intended to use them in the bathroom there, and we never did. So they've actually been in storage in our old garage or here for literally 10 years. So it's actually good to make use of them. So in effect they're free because we bought them so long ago. I can't even remember what Helen paid for them, again off eBay. So it's good to actually use them. So partial result of yesterday's shopping trip to Stoke. This is some more flooring. I believe this one is going into bedroom 1. So some light oak coloured laminate flooring plus the underlay. And to give you some idea, that's actually going to go in that bedroom just there.
Right, this is it. The shuttering is coming off the stand for the air source heat pump. Hopefully it won't just all fall to pieces. There was an awful lot of hardcore, 4 barrows of hardcore, 4 barrows of concrete, in the rain, in the dark. So let's see how it goes.
There's always one. There's those. Those are off.
Yeah, congratulations!
Easy!
Now, if it looks an absolute mess, we do have a plan of actually tiling it. But best laid plans. We shall see.
Pebbles on the top.
Oh yeah, and then putting some black pebbles or something on the top just to cover the not so sightly surface. Or by the time we get round to doing it, we'll be totally fed up with everything and it'll be just fine how it is.
Well, it's going to be up to about there at ground level anyway.
Oh yeah, the ground level's going to come up, so don't get a splinter.
No, just hit yourself with a drill.
Alright, don't do that either.
No, it's not a good idea.
Okay.
And then we'll try to take the front off. Not too bad.
They came off easier than I thought they were going to.
They did, didn't they? Let's hope this one does as well.
A little holy. Looks almost like an ant farm.
Yeah, that's a bit more holy there, isn't it? As I said, that's if you consider that the ground level is going to be below that bit, which is the main concrete pad anyway.
Yeah, and we did try to make sure the bit near the top didn't have gaps around it. So the bit around the top looks so much better than the lower bit.
Yes, yeah, and that was the bit you were talking about, that we might put just tiles around that edge there anyway.
Yeah.
Which would actually look quite good. So